Welcome to day 7. Okay, so it is 1:31 in the afternoon. I had a very busy morning. I did a 3-hour therapy session with Avi that was very productive. And they're, okay, you guys. And we're just trying to get everything off the floor. Girl. Here's Micah. Micah, say hi to the vlog.
Yep.
Ah! Allie! Don't do it! Don't do it! Pillow fight! Oh. Okay. Say hi to the vlog. Hi. Okay, wait. The update. What else? What else do we need to do? I'm gonna block you guys. So yeah, we're just moving a little slower than anticipated. But we're trying to...
You didn't let me say hi.
Oh yeah, say hi to the vlog. They're going at it, guys. They're going at it. Say hi to the vlog. Oh, you gotta put a shirt on.
Hi, vlog.
That's Noah. All right, you guys. We're getting through it.
I have 2 suitcases. And... my girl.
You guys, we found Avi. He had to put oil and gas in his bike because it's a 2-stroke. He's mixing it up. He's going for a ride. There it is. How do you start it?
I gotta get my change first.
Oh, okay. Found all the kids.
Yeah, we got some gum.
He's joking. Okay, we've been here the whole time.
No, my mom left me. I'm just joking.
You guys, there's a really good ice cream place in Maui, and it's
really
what is it called?
Good. It's called Gelatos.
No, it's not. Artisans. And I never get ice cream because I'm not like a fan. I'm not a really big fan of ice cream. Yeah, but they have vegan ice cream.
Coffee.
And since it's going to be our last week here in Maui, and I probably won't be back for a long time, I got some ice cream.
Yeah, if you're having a good dinner, you take out dinner. Well, have you eaten dinner yet?
No.
I have.
Exactly.
Well, he didn't ask you, but... Wait, you know what, Ellie?
It's 6:59, and welcome back. So we just got back home. We did a lot today, but I wanted to come on here to talk about my therapy session with Avi because I made a story post about it and I had a lot of questions about why I did therapy for 3 hours this morning and what that was about. So I feel like this is so good and it has helped me so much with my relationship with the kids and their relationship with each other, and I just feel like so inspired to share. Just a quick update though, downstairs is very clean. Well, we have to like mop and stuff, but we put all this stuff away and we packed what we could. We're trying to get everything into the 10 suitcases, but we've pretty much already packed all the 10 suitcases we have. Just stuff here that's left in my room. So, and then a few other things we have to do is Avi's room still needs to be emptied. And the pantry and the kitchen, that needs to also be emptied. So I'm helping my landlord find new renters because this is like an amazing house. It's so beautiful. It's got 3 bedrooms plus 2 additional rooms that could be used as bedrooms. And it's such a great neighborhood and such a great, aside from like what's been going on lately with some creepos that have been breaking into people's houses, but it's so close to walking distance to the market. It's close to like the yoga studios, the gym, our favorite sushi spot. It's close to the coffee shop. It's like really great location. So I'm just helping my landlord find someone to rent this house, which shouldn't be that hard because housing here it is like it can be very difficult to find really good housing and really good price, and this house is really good priced. So that's pretty much the update. Okay, and Ellie's blow drying her hair. The thing about bangs that I have to like get used to is like hair on my forehead. It's bothering me. It's like when you wear a hat, you know? Like your forehead becomes like super itchy, so I just have to get used to it. I really want to tell you guys some of the details of the whole therapy session, and also like the process of why I do therapy and what kind of therapy I do and how it's literally changed my life. I look at it like going to the gym. You know, you got to go to the gym to like work out your muscles. I feel the same way about going to therapy. You got to go to therapy to like work out the brain and the heart. So, but Ellie is blow drying her hair and it's loud. So I'll be back. Okay, I finally have a few moments to tell you a little bit about why I did 3 hours of therapy this morning with Avi. So when I got divorced, I had been going to therapy for about 2 years, but not cognitive behavioral therapy, which you probably heard about. It's like the more common type of therapy people go to. But I went to a therapy practice called emotionally focused therapy. And I learned it because my parents, when they were struggling in their marriage, they couldn't find a therapist that could help them work things out in their marriage. So they decided to go back to school and become psychologists. And they learned about the attachment theory and the importance of having a securely attached relationship. And so it really helped them in their relationship. So they started to teach me about all these things. And at the time I had a really strained relationship with my parents, but they really had so much empathy and understanding for the struggles that I was going through. So they started to share this experience and also what they learned with me. So I started going to therapy towards the end of my marriage and thinking that it would help the relationship. But what it did was it helped me become so much stronger and really have a voice and be able to put in words what I had been feeling for so many years in my relationship, which was that I was really unhappy. I was feeling really ashamed of not wanting to be in the relationship, and I finally got the courage and the strength to leave. So once I got divorced, I went to therapy and did like intensive trainings in this specific practice. I don't have my psychology degree. I went to school for business and marketing and I really want to be in the fashion design industry or on camera. But I loved learning about it because I had felt so stuck for so long. I was really just feeling like I had sacrificed so much of what I wanted in my life to please others and to also to keep the safety of the relationship, like to keep the relationship together instead of truly being who I am and just like connecting with my core self. So I did intensive therapy sessions. There was one point, like the first 3 years after my divorce, where I was in therapy every single day, 5 days a week for 4 months straight because I was so tired of suffering. I just felt like I was trapped, like I was stuck, like I was in a deep dark hole and I didn't know how to get out. I felt like I had put myself in this like jail and I just couldn't figure out how to get unstuck. But this kind of practice really helped me, find how to communicate my feelings, what were my triggers, and also to connect back to my true self. And it was so crazy because I remember wanting to get divorced so that I could feel free and have freedom. And like I could do whatever I want and go wherever I wanted to. And I got married at 18, so it was like, you know, I thought that was going to give me the freedom I was looking for, but then I felt trapped in a relationship after I moved out of my parents' house. Like I had gone right into that same situation. So when I got divorced, I was like, oh, so excited. I'm going to be so free. I can do whatever I want. I can be whoever I want. And I realized after doing therapy for several years and really understanding myself that the freedom that I was looking for was within me. It was like freedom to be myself, to speak about the things that were going on in my feelings and my emotions, to be able to connect and make sense of the traumas that I experienced in my childhood, and to like make sense of what was happening with me now and why I had suffered so much in my relationship. So it was such profound work. It completely changed my life. And so while I was doing intensive therapy, this specific emotionally focused process which was all around the attachment theory, I was also doing therapy with my mom at the same time. So we had like a very strained relationship, you know, for the last, well, at that time, you know, I had a strained relationship with her for about 10 years. And so we started doing therapy together, and it was so amazing because at the same time that I was doing therapy with my mom, I started doing therapy with the kids. And so it was so relational. I felt in the therapy sessions with my mom, you know, I was the child talking about the traumatic experiences I had as a child and how I felt in those experiences and how my mom felt. So we were able to rebuild our very insecure attached relationship and create a more securely attached relationship. And then to turn around and then do therapy with the kids, then I felt like in that experience with my mom, I felt like, wow, as soon as I would finish every session, I would relate it to how my kids probably feel if they experience the same patterns that I experienced in my childhood growing up. Even though I swore I would never be like my parents and I would never raise my kids like my parents, it just, those patterns came out in our conflicts and how I handled conflicts and how I handled their feelings. So I would do the therapy with the kids, and then I could transform the way I was communicating with them to create safety for them, and in turn rebuild that relationship with them to create the securely attached relationship. It's like, it's so wild to have that experience, like to do therapy with my mom and then to turn around and do therapy with my kids and be in like the child experience in that therapy session, and then turn around and foster an environment that's thriving for the kids. And I knew this process was so effective because I could see the transformation with the kids. I know a lot of you probably don't know, and you see now how close I am with the kids and how close the kids are with each other, but you probably don't notice, or maybe you haven't heard this, but I really had a hard time when the separation happened with their dad and I was going through the divorce. Avi and Ellie really, really struggled. They had a really hard time with that, and I didn't know how to create an environment that was going to be safe for them, emotionally speaking. Like, of course, like physically safe, yes, of course they were safe, but like emotionally speaking, I didn't know how to create space for them to talk about how difficult it was. And so I spent the last 6 years working with them in these intensive sessions. So like the therapy sessions, really the last 3 years, well actually no, about since I moved up country, which was about 3 years already. So when I started to do these intense therapy sessions, so I connected with a therapist thanks to my parents who introduced me to this practice and the work that I was doing with my mom. and she's located in Oahu, and so she took on doing these intensive sessions with me and my kids. And at first I would fly the kids over to Oahu with me, and we would go for like 6 hours in therapy, and we would just take turns. Like a session would be me and Avi, a session would be me and Ellie, a session would be like all the kids together, a session would be, you know, the older kids together, the younger kids together. And so we did that like once a month for a good 6 months. And then the therapist would come to our house and she would do sessions like that, intense sessions. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you guys how much it changed our whole dynamic, our whole relationship. Like it went from surviving, you know, to thriving. The kids were thriving, their relationship was amazing. They, like, yeah, of course, they still had conflicts and we still have fights. Like, that's so normal in families and so normal in relationships. But they were able to come together and work through it in a way where they could feel like if they did get hurt in that moment, they could communicate about it and then respond to each other's needs. And so a lot of times people think that we're happy because we live in Hawaii. And yes, this is a beautiful environment. It's a beautiful place to live. It's very relaxing. It's like a different, completely different lifestyle than the mainland. But I truly attribute 99.9% of the happiness and the connection that we all have through this process that the kids learned. And like, if we put it into terms that is commonly used, a lot of people say like emotional intelligence, and I ended up writing this digital book about how to raise emotionally intelligent children. Emotional intelligence means that you are intelligent, you're aware, you're educated about emotions, the importance of emotions, the power of emotions, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually applying the process of how to communicate your emotions, identify, express them, and ask for what you need to real life situations. And we need those tools to get through difficult moments in life. So this was like my whole journey to getting to where we're at now, is teaching the kids how to communicate their feelings, their fears, and their needs, and then being able to identify what they're feeling when they're having a difficult moment, feeling, experience. And that could include like conflicts within themselves that they're feeling, conflicts with their siblings, conflicts with me, conflicts with other people in their life, including their dad or other family members. And then to be able to digest that information, create space for it so they can feel it and don't think that there's anything wrong with them. And then to be able to express it and ask for what they need emotionally. And that is so huge. Like, you've probably heard people say like, oh, kids don't become emotionally intelligent until they're 25, or like they don't really have emotional awareness until they're like 23, or their prefrontal cortex develops. And okay, but my kids, it's so amazing to see how they can communicate their feelings, how they could express what's happening to them, what hurts them, what doesn't feel good inside, how they could become like aware physically of what's going on in their body. They don't necessarily know how to put it together into words. They can just express it how they feel physically. And this is transformational. You guys, we are in the business, like living in life is the business of having relationships. And I think at the very top of the skills that you can teach your child, yes, definitely. There's so many skills that a child can learn, but I think this is at the very top of the list. How can they communicate their emotions and their feelings and their needs in order to connect and understand deeply with other people and other relationships, but mostly to have empathy. And when we have empathy, we understand what someone else is struggling with, and we can get when someone else is struggling. So it makes it actually easier for us to process what is happening within us when we have a conflict, and also how to help someone that's struggling as well, and how to have like really deep emotionally connected relationships, which I love. So all that to say, so we stopped doing intensive therapy like about a year ago, and because I felt very well versed in this topic, and I had the tools. Like my mom has a business now, and she's worked on creating this specific process. I've talked about the forms that I have on my website. I talked about it in that last episode too, that you can use. And so I've really practiced this, and I've lived it every single day in my relationships and the conflicts I have with the kids, and also, you know, in our life. And what I want to share is that the reason why we did the intensive therapy session is because we just had like a really big kind of unfolding of trauma that occurred when Avi was younger. You know what we should sing is we should sing The Sound of Music. What do you think of my straight hair?
Oh, no.
The hills are alive with the sound
Wait, Mom, I got
of
this. Watch.
music.
No, Mom, I got this. Okay, I'll rate that a 5 out of 10. My turn.
Okay. The hills are alive.
Wait, go now. Wait. The hills are alive. Mom, it's stop laughing. I didn't laugh at you. Ready? The hills are
You're
alive.
It's the hills.
Okay, ready? I got this. Wait. The hills are alive with the sound of
music. No, it's like, listen.
Mom,
Listen.
you're no voice teacher.
No, listen. The hills are alive with the sound of music. How about a Disney song?
No, Mom, they're gonna expose me on here. No, Mom, they're gonna expose us.
I don't care. I don't mind. I was sharing with them why I did therapy this morning with Avi. And I wanted to tell them more about that because I feel like it's important. No, it's so important. So I was just...
Sorry, guys.
So I wanted to just end today's vlog with... I haven't done intense therapy sessions with the kids in about a year because I kind of took over and was able... I took over and I was able to work with the kids and it was going really good. But then we had some like difficult situations like the last 6 months and we didn't talk about it. You know, we didn't create space for it. And when you don't create... When you don't create space for difficult conversations and difficult feelings, then it builds up and it builds up. Don't you know about that?
Yes, ma'am.
And it builds up and it builds up. And then it gets worse and you become, when you have conflicts, there are either opportunities to connect or there are opportunities to become distant. So,
That's the end of the vlog today.
that's the end. We'll tell you more tomorrow. I'm gonna help you change your life.